Hello? Hi. Hang on. I have a really, really cool thing to show you. This is gonna blow your mind, alright? This is gonna be like the coolest thing you've ever seen. I have a webcam now. Isn't that cool? Anyway, um, I'm here to stream painting. And then afterwards, I'm going to be streaming some point and click adventure games. So, right now, I gotta send out the announcement. Right now, I'm just trying to like ease myself back into, I guess, being live. I haven't done this in a while. In fact, hang on. The last time I was on stream, I was a man. That's how long it's been. Oh, everyone's coming in now. Hi. I'm sorry if you hear voices in the other room. My sister has company over. Good afternoon. Hi, Jum Jum. Hello. Do you like these photos? I took these photos. Also, the soundtrack we're listening to right now is the soundtrack from Garage Bad Dream Adventure, which is what I'm going to be playing later. We'll start painting in a minute or so. I'm still like, I don't know, I guess I'm mentally preparing myself. This is Yuminiki type beat, yeah. I have a playlist of just old point and click and DOS games here. Also, if it gets too loud, tell me, because I was messing with the audio stuff earlier today, and it was kind of a nightmare. Anyway, we have an empty canvas here. I don't know how much talking I'm gonna do. I don't even really know what I'm going to be painting yet. A lot of times this is like a lot of just visual tests until I find something I actually want to paint. A lot of this is just going to be me not talking and just painting, if that's okay. Hi, Seth. So, you know, if you want a quiet art stream, that's what this will be. Welcome back to streaming. Yeah, it feels good to be on stream again. I'll be honest, for a very long time, I had a lot of trouble streaming, and just being live and being in front of people. And I never really understood why. I thought it was stage fright. I thought it was something. It was just, I would get this feeling of dread whenever I would be live. And it was a really, really rotten feeling. And Oh, what wonderful music here. Uh, I realized now that um, I didn't like streaming because I was trans. Now, I know that's like really vague, but like, uh, I just feel a lot more comfortable with myself and the way I look, and being online and interacting with people has become a lot easier for me to do. Um, because I like what I am now, I guess. But anyway, painting. I don't know how long we're going to be painting. I think it will probably be an hour. I think maybe at 11:30 we will switch to some kind of I have two games ready. I have Scratches and I have Garage Bad Dream Adventure. Very glad to see that it's empowering for you. Thank you. I think it really is just I feel more comfortable in my own skin. You know, I think it was like I don't know how to explain this. It was just like it was incredibly disturbing to like for the feeling that people are just perceiving me as a man. And I guess maybe only other trans people can understand that, but I'm just broken. I'm just broken, and it's okay. I got a ton of new brushes here that were gifted to me by a friend because he bought them and realized he didn't have Clip Studio. So we're probably going to be doing a lot of experimentation before we get into something substantial, which is usually the case. Ooh. I don't like that. That's really laggy. That's not laggy. That is. Is it lagging because of the stream? I hope not. Let's see. Let's just try the dry gouache. Okay, so it is the brushes that's lagging. I can't exactly relate, but I'm happy for you, so thank you. Sharp chalk. Hello, Hyde. Oh, these new brushes are really laggy. How goes things? Things are alright. Things are a bit complicated in my life right now. No. It's okay. It's just how it is sometimes. I haven't used social media in a while, and it came to me as a surprise to see you trans. Well, it surprised me too. Your name isn't Will anymore. No, my name is Catherine now. At least until I come up with something better. I chose that because I thought the name Cat was cute. And that's it. That's the reason. That's the lore. Good lore. I've been taking HRT for almost a year now. I think it'll be a year in a couple months. What led you to the decision? A lot of things. It was a very long, how do I explain this? So I felt this dysphoria since I was like a child. This is something that has been in me since I was born. But figuring out that it was there was very, very difficult because, you know, when you're dealing with dysphoria like that your entire life, it's really difficult to like know what it is. It's like being in pain your whole life without really realizing it because you don't really know anything else. And there was this. So when I was 25, I'm turning 28. I'm actually turning 28 on the 9th, Tuesday. My birthday's Tuesday. But when I was 25, I started feeling very unhappy with myself. And I was also meeting a lot of trans people. And these trans people were very, very important to me discovering that I was trans. I think it really was that, like, I saw the first trans woman, not my first trans woman, but like I saw, like, I met a trans woman that was like comfortable with herself. And I kind of went through this existential crisis realizing that, oh my God, I can do that? That's possible? I can just do that? And then, like, multiple years went by because I was like, I'm not going to take the hormones. That's like an extreme, an extreme decision. But I eventually started to realize that deciding not to take hormones was something that was a decision that I had to make every single day. I'm saying a lot. But I eventually got sick of making that decision because the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to take it. But there was also this. At first, I was testing out with like just pronouns, people calling me she, her, wearing like different clothes, and I would wear these different clothes like by myself, not really in public. And after like multiple years of that, I was like, I needed to take the hormones because it was something that was just like something I couldn't stop thinking about every single day. And I'm just rambling. I don't know where I'm going with this story. I feel like I'm just describing like random facts about this situation, but it was multiple years of climbing out of a brain fog that I it was hard. It was difficult. It was difficult. I think my friends were very important for that whole process too, because they actually supported me and let me explore new things. And before I met them, I didn't really have anybody that I could like talk to about this or even really understand what it was. So they were very very important for that. Yeah. It was really good. It still is really good. Um, when I started the hormones, it was pretty wild. Because I think the first like the first few weeks it was like a lot of mood swings. But after that I kind of balanced out. But like there was a lot of things I expected, and there was a lot of things I expected that still surprised me. Like when I encountered them, even though I was like expecting them. One of those was the transphobia. I knew I was going to get a lot of transphobia, but I didn't know what the capacity was, or what the capacity of that transphobia was going to be until I was there. Um, this whole thing is very surreal to you. What, me being a woman, or the painting, or both? A bit of both. I love seeing people's reactions to like seeing the old me versus how I look now. My my favorite thing is to get in contact with people I haven't talked to since my transition and just looking at their face when they see me in person for the first time. It's really cool. Do you think being in the horror space helped or hindered the transphobia? So I'm just a little visible online, like more than the average person. I wouldn't consider myself like an internet celebrity, but I do like like people just interact with me when I post myself online, and so I'm just going to be exposed to a lot of like harassment, like more than the average person, strictly because I'm just more visible. But almost every single day, if I show my face, if I talk about myself, I will get at least one person that will send a very, very hateful comment or a slur or something like that. These are usually really stupid. Sometimes they're very, very detailed and venomous, and make me feel sad. But I haven't experienced this in person, but something I have experienced in person, and I think this is less so a trans thing and more so just like looking like a woman. People are just like more okay with touching me, and not really in a sexual way. It's sort of like I don't know how to explain it. It's like people are just really okay with putting their hands on my shoulder and commenting about my appearance, and it's like this is so vague that it's really hard to put my finger on, but like the difference is so visible, especially from going from like looking like a man to what I look like now. There's like I'm sorry if I trail off. I get distracted very, very easily. I don't have my ADHD medication right now, if you could tell. Oh, I didn't answer your question. Do you think being in the horror space helped or hindered the transphobia? So I don't think the horror space necessarily did anything. Like it wasn't really a good or a bad thing. I think just generally being visible online causes that to happen more. I think generally the horror space is very trans friendly. Which is really good. And I think a lot of horror in general is just very queer related. Not necessarily trans related, but like there is a lot of horror about queerness, which is, you know, really good, I think. Clive Barker is especially good at this specific sort of thing. I really like his books. I apologize ahead of time if I don't stop talking about his books. The anonymity of the internet is a beautiful and terrible thing. Well, people just say anything because they want to hurt me, because they don't like me. I don't know what it is. I don't know why people are transphobic. I think they just watch news, like really bad, like news stations like Fox News, and then Fox News tells them that they should be scared of me, and they just believe them. I don't know. Maybe people, maybe these people were just looking for some kind of sense of community or something. But like, certainly doesn't make me feel safe. Right now, I currently live in the safest part of the country. I think it's Massachusetts, which is a very, very liberal state. I have access to healthcare that I don't have to pay for. It's not amazing, but it is like it's mass health. It's free. I don't have to pay for it, and they cover most things. They even cover like voice training, which I haven't really done yet. if you haven't noticed, and I can also dress as a woman outside without anybody batting an eye. Although I do like kind of pass now, so I wonder if people just people just see me as that. I pass until I start talking. I've had a lot of interactions with people where they call me ma'am, and then I start speaking in my Redditor voice, and they just suddenly start treating me differently. And it's like they're not direct about it. It's like a subtle thing. It's like a subtle thing that's really hard to put my finger on. That's what a lot of this is. Trying to request you upload more speed paints, or so I should be uploading more speed paints to YouTube. Typically I like to try to take streams and then speed them up. If I speed up this stream, you're gonna like see me in the corner just like doing all of this extremely quickly, which might look really silly, but I might try to turn this into a speed paint, because they're easy. I don't know why I do them. I have no excuse for like not uploading them, because I'm painting anyway, right? I right now I've been working on like some really intense animation. Hang on. Let me pull up what I've been working on. I have to pull it up as a GIF because like it kind of lags while it's in Clip Studio, and I think it would lag if I just opened up the file and played it through there. So I'm going to try to find the GIF and play it through OBS. Oh my god, that's so big. Right here. This is what I've been working on. I've been working on this for 3 weeks, and I'm trying to animate this whole scene where it goes down a hallway with a bunch of little guys. The animation progress has been so cool to watch on Twitter. Thank you. I do work on this a little bit each day. It's slow. I know this is only like 4 seconds long, but I like see all of those people inside that hallway that like peeking out of the bars. They're not even done yet. I've had to draw that 35 times for like that second and a half that they're visible on the screen. Maybe I can just work on it here. Hang on. Maybe I can open the file. Let's see. This file's getting really laggy due to the amount of like layers it has. And my poor RAM is crying. Here we go. Oh my god. Do you see this? Do you see this? 3 weeks. Is that side 2? This is not side 2. This is Clip Studio Paint. You don't know what version this is? I don't either. I'm kind of using a file that my friend gave me. I don't know if this is a legitimate version. It was just kind of an install file. Don't tell anyone. I do think it is a previous version. Okay, so let me show you how I've been doing this, right? I go to the layer with all the little guys, right? This is all the little guys. Re-engagement. How's your day so far? My day has... It's been a lazy day. Well, not a lazy day. I've been working pretty diligently on like actually setting everything up for the stream, like setting this camera up, getting like all this music ready and all the other stuff. I want to start streaming more regularly. I know I've said this in the past, but I feel a little bit more confident in myself being on stream now. So I think this will be a lot easier for me now. Hang on, will this play correctly if I just... Do you see how, like, slow it is? Oh yeah, good night, Seth. I'm now tempted to just work on this. But I feel like this is a... Animation's very boring. Because it is really just drawing the same thing 87 times in a row. The way I've been doing this to get all of these people to look like it's going down the hallway and to make them look the same is I started out from here. Oh my god. You would lose your mind. It's just a little tedious. I can handle this. Like, animation feels like good to me. I really do enjoy making this stuff. Oh, but okay, so I started out with this frame, right? And I drew a bunch of guys, and then I copied that, and then I pasted it here, shrunk it a little bit to like match the depth of the door back here. And then I drew more around the edges, and I kept doing that for each one as it backed away. You could see like new heads coming in as it like drifts further and further back, and eventually until it disappears. So now I'm just sort of like shrinking it and then adding more heads. Okay, maybe I will work on this. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oh. Okay, see you later, Hyde. Thank you for coming on. Oh my god, where did my pen go? How did I lose my fucking pen? There it is. Hmm. Fucking music. It's one fucking frame. One frame that's not even, like, finished yet. There we go. Let's see how that looks. I'm gonna try to play in real time. I've been having a lot of issues with the playback in this. Information. Playback settings. Oh my god. Did I take my meds? Just a second. I forgot to take my HRT meds. I have to hold this shit under my tongue for like 5 minutes. What is this option? Playback settings. Play in real time. Is this gonna break it? It did not. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know if that showed up on stream, but the whole OBS just crashed. Not crashed, but it went completely black for a second. It really does not know how to handle this animation. I've added way too many fucking layers to this. Once I finish these couple layers right here, when it starts going inside the door, I'm gonna finish until maybe right here. I'm gonna do these 4 frames, and then I'm gonna finish up this illustration, and then we're gonna play scratches, which I'm very excited about. Scary. Oh, it's not done yet. Let's look at this one more time. It's just so fucking cool to see all of them like whoosh past the camera like that. Oh yeah, now I'm starting to get like playback issues. Oh well. just... There we go. Hallway of Unknown Horror is great so far. Thank you. This whole animation is for a much larger project that I've been working on. I'm not able to upload a lot of frequent content because a lot of my content is very long form and requires me to work on it for long periods of time without really any kind of like results. But the results I do make are very, very satisfying. Like this animation, again, I've been working on this for weeks, and before this animation, I had to make a storyboard, which is even longer than this animation, and before that storyboard, I had to write a script, which is even longer than the storyboard. So I wrote a script for an entire graphic novel, and I'm still adding stuff to it. I say it's unfinished, but truthfully, I feel like I'm just continuously adding to it, because like a lot of the story is finished already, and I can have like several issues of that graphic novel done before finishing the script. But as I was writing the script, I guess this might have been a tangent or something, but I decided to work on an animation for part of the script. And then that's when I started making a storyboard. Actually, I can just pull up the storyboard here. Right here. Okay, so the part that I'm animating right now starts right here. You know, it goes into their eye, and then the mouth, and then the door, and then the hallway, and then back through the eye again. But you know, there's like several pages and pages of dialogue before that happens. I think I'm working on this specific one right now because I wanted to see what kind of I wanted to see what the final animation would look like. Like what is that process of going from storyboard to animation? And this is a test of that right here. This is the most difficult shot in the whole animation. Everything else is a lot of just like dialogue and people talking to each other, which is hard, but it's not as hard as zooming through a hallway with a crowd of people. Sounds like this stuff is paying off very quickly now versus how long the planning is taking. This is almost 90% planning. I feel like that's most of my projects. Like, I'm very used to working on long form projects. I've made a few games. One of my games, Welcome Home 2 on Steam, took about 4 years to make. And also, I should clarify, I don't know if I've clarified this anywhere else, but Welcome Home recently got a ton of people buying it. And I only know this because I got a paycheck from Steam that was like way higher than it usually is. The human urge to do the most difficult part first. Yeah. That's what this is. But anyway, so Welcome Home, right? Welcome Home is something I made with my own characters, my own story, and it is completely unrelated to another thing called Welcome Home that is about it's like a weird ARG about like puppets or something. I don't know what it is, but I did not steal the name from this. Welcome Home was something that I had been in development since high school. You can go back to like year 2015 or so to see like comic panels that I was making of Welcome Home, right? And I recently got a huge paycheck from Steam because people, kids, I'm assuming, thought it was this much more popular thing that came out recently because they have the same name. So I just want to clarify, my Welcome Home is not the cool Welcome Home, okay? It's not the popular one. Mine is the shitty one. Mine is a shitty walking simulator that lasts 4 hours. You have to find it. Welcome Home 2 on Steam. I could just throw you a Steam key. Welcome Home 2, yeah. It is on Steam. I went through the whole process of publishing it and everything. I programmed that thing from the ground up, and it was a lot of fun and a lot of hard work. It is like 4 hours long. The puzzles are a little hard, mostly because I tried to make like a ARG website to go along with it. You bought it when it was released? Oh, thank you. I'm thinking of like permanently lowering the price to something like $3, because I think $10 is a little much for, well, maybe not a little much. I like making my games as available as possible for everyone. It was dirt cheap. Well, good. I really do gotta like, if I could, I would be releasing all of this content for free. I know it's a little cliche to say that money is secondary to these art projects, but it is definitely secondary. I do need to make revenue off of these projects, obviously. Simply because it allows me to continue to make it, but Haunted SNES cartridge vibes. Yeah. When I was making that game, you know why I wanted to make that game? Okay. So I had a dream journal. I had a dream journal that I had been keeping for a couple years at the point of starting that game, and I was very deeply inspired by games like Yume Nikki and LSD Dream Emulator and like a bunch of other stuff that is, I probably have a list of it somewhere, but anyway, I loved dream simulators, right? And I had a dream journal that had a ton of stuff that I wanted to just make into a game, and Welcome Home 2 is me trying to take that dream journal, construct it in a way that gives it a little bit of a narrative and connects things. There's a lot of that game that doesn't really make any sense, but that's it. I was trying to insert a narrative. I was trying to insert a narrative into something that just really didn't have one, but I think it works really well, or at least for what I made. So that whole game is just my dreams that I had. Like I think at least 60 to 70% of the dialogue is just like lines and things I have written directly plucked from the dream journal. There was this thing I did that, like, whenever I had a dream, I would just add it to the game. There was like a lot of backlog of stuff, but if I had a dream that night, I would specifically go into the game and recreate it in the game. So there's a lot of like weird there's a lot of like weird tangents in that game that don't necessarily lead to anything. That's really cool, subconscious game dev. Yeah, it was really fun. The process was very, very fun and something I'd like to do again, but it was like, it took a long time. I think it would have been shorter if I planned it out better, but I think honestly the fact that it's all done subconsciously like that is really interesting, because like I go back to that game and I see new stuff that I completely forgot I added, and like I'll see stuff that patterns in it that I just never like noticed before, because it's all just dreams. I was really trying to be as hands-off as possible with the narrative. There is a main character named David. I think David was just like a self-insert of me at the time. But I don't know exactly what David means in that game. I don't know what that game means in general. I was wondering why the dialogue was so surreal, but that's why. It's just like I would just take stuff from my dream journal, and a lot of that stuff just didn't make any sense. But I think because of that, it adds a surreal quality that's very nice. I just updated the game too. There were some bugs near the end that made the ending inaccessible. I don't know why I took so long to fix those bugs at the end, but yeah. Another thing I did, so I am good friends with the Yukon, the Turnip Boy developer, and I managed to get him to put a little Easter egg of my game in Turnip Boy. If you go into Turnip Boy, God bless this man, but if you go into Turnip Boy, you'll find like a billboard with a little clown on it, and that's my clown. That's my little clown. I was trying to find the meaning of the dialogue. Well, I think that's the point. I mean, there's not really an intended meaning, but I think there is a meaning to the dialogue. I just don't know what it is. It's all dreams. I think dreams are inherently supposed to be interpreted, I guess. Just a second, I'm gonna open a window. Anyway, I love you, Yukon. Message me again. Say hi. I miss you. This current project that I'm working on now, titled Changeling, this is what I'm doing the this animation for. There's a lot more intended meaning behind things. Things develop in very specific ways, and it's taking me a little longer to plan than Welcome Home 2. Welcome Home 2 was very like process oriented. Like it was less so about developing a narrative and more so about creating a very accurate reflection of my dreams at the time. I think Changeling is about a lot of mental issues I am dealing with. I got diagnosed with some stuff, with some wacky stuff recently. that it does explain a lot of things I dealt with growing up. Oh my god, look at that. That's so good. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop this here. I do want to work on this more. I like where this is going, so I'm gonna continue working on this one for a little bit, and then I'm going to switch to scratches. And I might just do scratches. I had scratches and Garage Bad Dream Adventure planned after this, but I might just spend my time at scratches. I did play scratches on stream before, but I think I'm just gonna start the game over because I kind of forget where I am. And it's also been, I think, more than a year since I started, so... Yeah. Okay, let me save this. Yeah, I don't know how much of this I should be talking on stream, because the thing that I got diagnosed with recently... Oh, see, now this is just like a therapy session. The thing that I got diagnosed with recently was dissociative identity disorder. And this was something that I had to go through 30 hours of therapy to get a diagnosis from a professional. This isn't like a TikTok thing. I have a piece of paper. But anyway, the Changeling is definitely, I think, about that diagnosis. Your dad has that? I know how much that diagnosis can explain stuff. It does explain a ton. Like, I just have, like, severe memory issues. And I'm diagnosed with ADHD. I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was, like, a child. And, like, any memory issues that I had growing up, I kind of just chalked up to ADHD. But... I mean, DID, it like the amnesia with DID is like kind of frightening at times, because I'll just like forget where I am sometimes, because I'll switch. I don't know how much I should be talking about, or how much I want to be talking about, like, DID personalities. Extra life debuff. Yeah. I have 4 people living inside this head at all times. I thought I had schizophrenia for a while because I was like hearing a lot of voices in my head. And I think that's what prompted me to go see a doctor, because like voices in your head isn't good. But I have friends with schizophrenia, and my symptoms didn't really match up with theirs, and a doctor eventually did confirm that it wasn't that at all. All 4 of us have names too. Which I don't know if I maybe I'll talk about it on a later stream. I'm just a little nervous to be talking about my DID stuff. I do want to talk about it. But generally online, it feels like a lot of people just don't take it very seriously, and I think that's because it's very trendy on TikTok right now, uh, which sucks. I Oh my god, I'm sorry I trailed off. I forgot what I was about to say. It's gonna happen a lot. This is what my thoughts sound like. Something interesting. Oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't be filing my taxes right now. This is intense. I am going to be doing my taxes, I think, on the 10th. I know that's like really late, but the job I work at a part-time job right now. But they file my taxes for free, so I just do it through them. And the date I'm gonna be doing that is like the 10th, which is like late, but whatever. Paying for filing for taxes is a weird concept to me. Yeah, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. It's predatory. I don't know why it happens. Or I do know why it happens. It's just corporate greed. But like even saying, oh, it's just corporate greed, I feel like reduces the effect that it actually has because of how common it is. You almost just get desensitized to like, oh, I guess I just have to deal with this bullshit, you know? And it's especially horrible for me because like I a lot of my income is like commission based. So I have if anybody is watching the stream that I have not finished a commission for you, I'm still working on it. I'm like a few months late on commissions right now for like several people. And I feel really bad, but like I have just been like completely consumed by this part-time job and also a shit ton of other things that I need to do. One really wild thing that I noticed about dissociative identity disorder is the way my handwriting and art style changes depending on who's in the front. I've done a lot of experimentation with this too. It's very weird. I like this guy a lot. He makes me very happy. Does this fella have a name? He does not have a name. The fella on screen? Yeah, he doesn't have a name yet. This is honestly me just doing like I'm mostly just like playing around with textures and drawing faces because I like drawing faces. There's typically not really a goal with this sort of stuff. I just kind of like building upon it as I come up with it. Like earlier, this was just kind of a blob on a background, and I was painting it until it looked like a face. And now that I have a face, it's like, okay, what can I do with this face? Also, the music that we're listening to tonight is from 3 games. I do have to give credit for this music. It's from Bad Mojo, Harvester, and Garage Bad Dream Adventure. These are just a few point-and-click games that I just took the soundtrack from, and I'm using it for stream background noise. So there. You didn't miss much. For a while I was just like working on an animation. Right here, actually. This thing. It's getting closer to being done. This animation is a little boring to stream, So I'm a little hesitant to like continue working on this on stream. Maybe I will sometime if people are interested, but like these are typically a lot better because I can like feasibly get out a whole illustration from like starting from nothing at the start of the stream. So you know, like an animation stream, I'll be like animating for 3 hours, and what you get to see is like somebody's hand doing this, like just not even opening all the way, just like a little bit, you know. Even trying to keep up with the hallway animation on Instagram, it's gonna be like a whole like 4 or 5 minute animation. That's just like the really complicated part. Oh, you have to go. Good night. Have a good night. Thank you for coming to the stream. You too. It's just nice to be on here again. Should you order pizza, yes or yes? Oh, it depends on the pizza, frankly. The cracked jaw is marvelous. Thank you. I'm glad you like his fucked up jaw. Maybe I'll make some kind of like infographic about the DID art style stuff. It's giving Mouth of Sauron from Return of the King. Yeah. It's a good comparison. Reminds me of Monstra's Lung. Or not Monstra's Lung, Monstro. I'm getting my items and bosses mixed up. Sorry. My good friend Enoch just got commissioned to do a bunch of, or like a painting for a Binding of Isaac card game by Edmund McMillan, which is really cool. I have not seen what he painted yet. Card game? Yeah. I think Edmund is making a card game of Isaac, and he's making a bunch of like alt cards of everything. I also tried to apply for this like commission, but I don't think he either didn't see or didn't like my work, so that's fine, whatever. But my friend Enoch got to do a card for this game, which is like really cool. It'd be 1,000+ cards for the amount of yeah. I am not sure how many cards. I think it's for the. Is it? There is a Isaac card game. I think he's just making like add-on packs, maybe, because like he is adding, I think, a bunch of alternate versions of cards with just like alternate artwork, and I think he's intentionally trying to make them different art styles, so there's like a lot of like visual variety to them, which I think is a really cool idea. I don't know, Edmund. I know you're not watching this stream, but maybe commission me. I can do a real good job. I literally have 900 hours in Binding of Isaac. I know everything. I've been sleeping terribly. You can see the Skelly being a kind NPC in some survival horror world. He's very kind. He's very nice. Yeah, he will steal your skin. You know, let's give him like a more human characteristic here. God, I used to only stream for like an hour and a half because I would get like too much dysphoria and disappear. I would just get like really anxious, but like I've been streaming for an hour and a half and I still like I'm not done yet. I feel motivated. Estrogen fixes everything. A manifestation of what depression can do to somebody. Very friendly, but also super insistent on needing to borrow your skin. And it's only borrowing it too. He says he'll give it back. But you know, it's gonna be used. Okay, here's like a cool trick to draw smoke, right? If you want to draw smoke, I usually do like a big fluffy clouds like this, right? And then I go in with like an erase tool. I sort of create this kind of spiraling S pattern. There we go. Look at that. He gives it back all sticky. Quinn technique, did not learn that in college. Well, like, I didn't go to college. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, a lot of the art stuff that I know how to do isn't from a formal education. I find that, like, a formal education is always gonna be good. There is, like, a lot of stuff that I learned how to do that isn't necessarily in any sort of, like, college lecture, but I don't want to make it seem like I had some kind of advantage or I'm just like naturally better at this than somebody who did go to college. You know, there's a lot of like probably fundamental stuff that I just don't have because I just didn't go to college. But I feel that I did have a unique opportunity to like learn this stuff in sort of like my own little box where I came up with my own processes to do this stuff. But a formal education is probably a better way to do it. Maybe I'll do some like art tutorial streams. It's just very difficult for me to talk about my process because like I don't know how to explain it. Um, I think that's one of the things I missed out on going to college, because it's like, uh, somebody who went there would have actual words to describe what they're doing. I just sort of like, you just kind of like make a little line here. You just kind of do this, without any further explanation. To interact with the tutorial stream. Maybe I will do that. I am getting in. I do want to get into the habit of streaming more, and that would be a good thing to stream. I'd have to do some like preparation beforehand. I think if I were to do a tutorial, because like my opinion on like teaching somebody how to paint is that there's not really a correct way to do this. Anything I teach you is subject to scrutiny, and I think that's just how it works. Like my methods are probably not going to work for everyone, and my methods are probably not even the best methods that you can do. And I think at least learning art is a lot about taking several different methods from several different like sources and learning how to integrate those into your own workflow, not necessarily mimicking them perfectly, but taking aspects about it that you like and making it your own. Maybe I'm speaking too vaguely on this. For me, I had a lot of inspiration. So I have like a list of like hundreds and hundreds of artists that are deeply inspiring to like my work. But when I was really, really early starting out, there were 3 artists that I studied a lot. 4 artists. See, now the list is getting bigger, Okay, so like 4 artists that greatly influenced my work is Jonan Vasquez, Stephen Gamel, and Junji Ito. Sorry, 6 artists, 2 more. Hieronymus Bosch and H.R. Geiger. Those artists are like artists that I see now I'm thinking about even more. See, like I feel like I could keep adding to this list. It's just like a huge list that is ever expanding. And there's not really a priority of like what inspired me the most. I feel like they inspired specific things that I still use to this day. Like Junji Ito, I was very inspired by his like really high contrasty stuff and his cross hatching, and I wanted to integrate that sort of thing in my work. And you can see I use a lot of cross hatching methods like this, and a lot of high contrast black and white stuff. But I also, Jonan Vasquez has a really, really unique way that he draws cartoons, which again is like a high contrasty, like cartoony sort of thing. I remember reading Johnny the Homicidal Maniac in high school, and I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. I loved the art in that. I am a little hesitant to like speak positively about the book now, because it's like it's a little weird, but I don't think Jonan's weird. uh, the book itself is very very good artwork. I will say that. I also did like Invader Zim a lot, like every other millennial. Um, what else? Junji Ito. Okay, so Stephen Gamel. Stephen Gamel was the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark artist. I loved how fucking scary his art was, because I remember reading it as a child and it just haunting me. I would just have severe nightmares about this, and this was like it would keep me up at night. I think it actually psychologically damaged me, like that artwork. But like I look back at that in a weird nostalgic positivity sort of way. I don't know why. It was very damaging. The art had you crying in class. Yeah. Yeah. No, I just like, I would get this like sinking feeling whenever I had to go to bed because I was like alone. It was at night, and then I couldn't stop thinking about the artwork. But I was deeply, deeply inspired by how just a painting like that can have such a huge emotional impact on the viewer, especially when it like the fucking birds in those eyes. Yeah. And like I was just hugely inspired by how fucking scary like a painting could be, and I really wanted to figure that out. And I remember like analyzing those paintings for hours and hours and hours, trying to figure out like why they are scary. And there's a lot of it I learned. I think there's something it has something to do with like the uncanny valley, and also the ambiguity of like the way shapes and lines go into each other, almost like it's like, how do I explain this? There's just this really hyper realistic quality to the paintings that is very difficult to like explain what it is. And I think it creates this uncanny valley effect, because like these very realistic drawings kind of melt into these very unrealistic drawings. I remember a teacher reading his books to us, and I remember getting filled with dread by his art. Yeah. The stories themselves were a bit silly. Like, I read the stories, and these are definitely like kid stories, but it was the artwork. It was the artwork that made those books like really, really good. What else? Hieronymus Bosch. Hieronymus Bosch is really fucking cool. If you haven't looked up Hieronymus Bosch, I really recommend you look him up. I was very inspired by how weird and detailed his work was. I don't know if we know a lot about like the artist himself, but he did this very famous painting called Garden of Earthly Delights, which I think is referenced a lot in everything. And he has like a lot of really weird like creature designs and a bunch of other stuff. But hang on. I made a painting that was inspired by Garden of Earthly Delights. Specifically, just like, I loved how dense those paintings were, with like this whole like scene. I'm sorry, I'm coughing a lot. It was like this whole scene with like, that was so densely packed with people and details, and it was just like, I can look at that for hours and just continually find new stuff inside the painting. And I wanted to make something like that. Hang on, let me pull it up here. Like a fucked up Where's Waldo. Yeah. Right here. You know, this doesn't hold a candle to the actual, like, what's it called? Garden of Earthly Delights. But I did want to make a painting that was dense with like little guys, like right here and right here. And I wanted to make a bunch of little monsters. I was also inspired by the Dante's Inferno paintings that had like a lot of rings going down into hell, which was really cool. I'm very proud of this. I think this took like 40 hours to make. Ugh. Okay. I think this is at a spot where I feel comfortable stopping. I'm gonna go get water. I'm also gonna get probably just something quick to eat. I'll be gone for maybe 10 minutes. So when I come back, I'm gonna be streaming Scratches, which is a point and click adventure game. Very excited to jump back into that game. I'll talk more about it when I get back, but I'm gonna go. This is like a stream. What is it called? Stream BRB. What do streamer? I don't know what streamers. I don't know what fucking streamers call it now, but like intermission. That's what it's called. That's the fucking word. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Anyway, this will be an intermission. I'll be back with Scratches. Yeah. A BRB. Yeah. Okay. Well, here. There we go. You can look at my nice desktop backgrounds. I will be back in 10 minutes.